strong mount. Lance, step out of it. A small balance check. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't do risky mounts because falling on your very first skill on the balance beam is hard to bounce back from. It's happened to me, I would know. And she's covering this up very well, keeping her composure, and not letting the judges get any more deductions from this routine.
And this is freshman Emily Morgan from Great Britain. We saw her on the bars.
Emily's a composed competitor, very seasoned, but this is her first year in the NCAA, and there's a lot of changes that they need to get used to, but she handles the pressure very well.
Tom Farden told me in 2016 he took a trip to Great Britain, did a bunch of cold calls, as he called them, and visited a lot of coaches in Great Britain, and it paid off. Years later, he was recruiting, and there you go. Emily Morgan is now a Utah Ute. Now Audrey Davis is at the top of the lineup for the Oklahoma Sooners. Again, coming into this rotation, you see the score on the bottom right. Utah up by .025. Audrey Davis, the sophomore from Oakland, Florida, went to Woga. Was coached, one of her coaches was Yevgeny Marchenko, and he coached Carly Patterson to Olympic all-around gold in 2004.
Audrey has, I think, my favorite floor music I've heard so far this season. I don't know, it fits with her dance style. She's got good tumbling. Opens up with a front double full. On the floor exercise, these are the things judges are looking for. Artistry, how you're performing your routine, your difficulty. Are you throwing those big, difficult skills? And you need to have control. You need to be able to not step out of bounds, show those landings. Round off 1.5 punch front layout. Beautiful switch half to her full.
AJ Kindler says she's so pleasant in the gym, always happy to be there, always trying to get better.
Third time pass, front Rudy.
I like it. The electric guitar, it's a good jam.
Her floor music, it does it for me. I don't know, I really enjoy it. But her tumbling, for me, she's got a lot of power, and she's working on controlling those landings. You can see she steps out of it, but she knows she can't go too far, doesn't want to get close to being out of bounds. Finish with that Rudy.
We'll wait for that score. Emily Morgan at 9.75 to lead things off for Utah. Again, I told you 9.9s are going to be the score to have in this meet if you want to win it. So they are going to absolutely want to drop that score. I walked into that training gym yesterday and I saw this young athlete.
I don't understand why they do such crazy mounts in college gymnastics. It gives me anxiety.
I saw her do what I thought was a 10-0 beam routine. It looked perfect to me. We'll see what she does today.
Beautiful turn.
For the first time ever, a regular season NCAA meet will be on ABC. That's this Sunday. Alabama, Florida Gators. That's 3 Eastern time. Going to be a good one.
Aerial back layout, step out, rock solid on that acro connection. Nice switch leap, stag jump, balance beam. You have different things you need to be doing. You have to showcase acro skills, your leaps and jumps. And Grace has a nice combination of all of those things in this routine. Aerial, back full. That routine was phenomenal.
That was a carbon copy of the one I saw yesterday, and now I wondered, what would it get? We're about to find out.
Just looks over the shoulder real quick to make sure she was at the right distance.
Oh, you better be at the right distance on that mount.
I got a hot flash just watching it. The aerial back layout, step out, beautiful. The connection of those skills, giving her the bonus points to start from a 10.0.
The freshman with a little bit of pressure, a 9.75. You may not think of that as a low score, but in this meet, it's one you want to drop. Grace McCallum answers. Audrey Davis on floor led off with a career high for her, a 9.825. Now the first look at sophomore Belle Johnson from Norman, Oklahoma, and Bart Connor School of Gymnastics.
Belle opens up the front leg, front 1.5. Getting ready for a second couple pass. Double tuck. A little bit unsure of her legs on that landing. Stays in bounds, but just not doesn't have the control that the judges are looking for. Switch half to Wolfville.
The pressure is on Oklahoma. Grace McCallum, a 9.925, only her second meet, but that's a high score for her. Tomorrow in our Saturday primetime game presented by H&R Block, we've got number 22 Tennessee taking on number 18 Kentucky. That has turned into a great rivalry between those two schools. You can catch it all 1 Eastern Time live on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Next up,
Senior Adrienne Randall is the next gymnast to go. She's out of Corona, California. One of the stars for Utah, Kara Aker, she was hurt in the first meet. Her ankle, sprained her ankle, should be out for a few weeks. Adrienne Randall in this lineup spot now. Wasn't in this rotation last week.
Early on in the season where you're going to see the most change of the lineups. You have people nursing injuries or moving sick, coming back. So it's going to see a lot of change up. During closer to postseason, you're not going to see as much changing in these athletes and who goes when. And balance beam, the points of emphasis. You need to be confident up there. Judges can see when you're like skittish. You have connections, acro and dance connections, and when you do your jumps and your switch flips, you need to show 180 degrees of flexibility.
I've got 1 point of emphasis at stay on.
I mean, that's like the underlying biggest point of emphasis.
All I would care about.
Full twisting back handspring swing down. I tried those one time, John. It didn't end well. I did on the side of the beam. My coach was like, nope, not for you.
You don't get to be off on that even once, right?
Round up for 1.5 dismount. Oh, she almost stuck it. But she did take that step back.
Wanted that stuck landing so bad. And that's one thing I saw them do in practice yesterday over and over. 1.5 stick drills on the side near the beam.
Hitting that 180 degrees. And the full twisting swing down. It's in awe every time an athlete does it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got to be a little bit tougher than me to do all that.
So Belle Johnson, a 9.875. So building the scores, and you can see bottom right. Again, they count the 5 best scores, so that'll change. But right now, with 2 scores for each team, it is tied as senior Emma LaPinta from Frisco, Texas, and Kurt Thomas School of Gymnastics.
Open up with a triple full. Very difficult skill to perform. I think the judges may give a decent amount of deduction on that. She wasn't fully all the way around with her feet and hips at the end of the skill. Front full, front layout.
Nice. Adrian Randall on beam, a 9.8. Got her on that landing, so keep that in mind as you watch Emma LaPinta score. That is the score. If Oklahoma wants to take the lead after 3 gymnasts, it's got to be better than a 9.8.
Georgia half split full. For exercise, you have a max time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. It can be shorter, but it cannot be longer. Double top last pass.
Ooh.
Soft legs on that landing. Stays on her feet. But between the landing of her first tumbling pass and triple full being short and the landing on that double top, she'd probably be around a 9.7. The judges were going to hit her for that. When you do this type of skill, you need to go more vertical. She went too far back, so she missed the extra height she needed. That front full front leg connection, very well done. Good control in the landing.
Coach Tom Haley, part of this coaching staff that has been together for over 15 years. One of the best staffs in the country, giving her some words of encouragement after that routine. Now, Abby Paulson over on balance beam. She has gotten a 10 on this event. Following Adrian Randall's 9.8, I tell you what, a 10 right here would put massive pressure on the Sooners.
As an athlete, they're not looking at the scores and seeing how close this number is. They're focused on doing their personal best, because when you do your personal best, you're doing the best for the team. Abby did a beautiful aerial layup step out salto. Switch leg split jump.
Abby's dad, Brandon, is a 1996 Olympian in Greco-Roman wrestling and a silver medalist. He's in the house tonight. Had a chance to catch up with him yesterday as well.
Full turn, the sneakiest element in balance beam that gymnasts make mistakes on. It looks so simple, but it is very difficult for whatever reason. Beat jump, aerial, back full, stakes the landing. Great finish to that beam routine.
That's a big moment for Utah. Emma LaPinta, you nailed it, Alicia. 9.7 for her floor routine.
The acro series, the aerial layout step out, perfectly square on the beam, and the connection for her dismount, the aerial back full. Perfect landing.
Abby is working all around. Coach Tom Farden said at the beginning of the season, we need as many athletes to be available for the all around as possible. You never know when you need to jump in. And she has a vault that's ready to go if needed. And back over to floor exercise. Carly Woodard, rather. Next gymnast to go, following Emma LaPinta's 9.7. They will need to drop that 9.7 if they want to keep pace with the home team.
Carly opening up her floor routine. Front double full. Great height on that tumbling pass. Round off whip half, front full. Beautiful switch side split full. Carly's ready for her last tumbling pass. Front full, front layout. Absolutely great control on all of her tumbling passes. This should be a good score for Oklahoma.
They're going to need a good score. Abby Paulson, a 9.9 on balance beam. A 10.0 for Oklahoma will give them back the lead. I don't think it's going to be that, but
That connection pass to the whip half to front full. Directly connecting those skills give her a good amount of bonus points that get towards her start value. That execution was clean. I don't see much that the judges could have taken from that.
Carly Woodard, one of the super seniors on this Oklahoma Sooner team. Now back over to balance beam. Crystal Issa, the senior from Henderson, Nevada.
Again, these mounts get me all nervous, make me feel like I'm competing again.
Crystal is the 2021 Pac-12 co-champion on this event.
Acro series back handspring, layup, step out, layup, step out. Small balance check, but covers up with her dance. Deep jump, straddle quarter.
Carly Woodard's score on floor, 9.875, so can't quite keep pace with Abby Paulson's 9.9.
Back handspring, gainer fall off the side, kicks it out in the air, sticks that landing.
The University of Utah women's gymnastics team, you can see them at the top of the attendance rankings for all of women's sports. You can see South Carolina basketball, hugely popular, but Utah Utes at the top. LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Florida also in those rankings. But that record, 15,273, that is a record average attendance. They got that in the 2020 season. There is a lot of energy here in Utah. 10,804 this evening.
Next up, on floor for Oklahoma, Jordan Bowers.
Now again, the freshman Jordan Bowers. She's the 5th gymnast to go. Keep in mind, Oklahoma trying to drop a 9.7. These last two athletes, Jordan and Reagan Smith, certainly can do much better than that. But a little bit of pressure early here for the Sooners.
We were talking with Jordan earlier today as they were at walkthrough this morning, and we asked them if they liked the mental aspect of being a Sooner. They are a very serious group. They work hard, and that shows. But, you know, they're not always over the top with their cheering, but they are very in tune with what they're doing. And they go, we like that. That's part of the reason why we want to become a Sooner.
And that's what KJ said. She said that the athletes are here, the ones that are meant to be here.
Front double full punch front.
Crystal Issa on beam, a 9.925. The pressure on the freshman Jordan Bowers.
Switch leap. Switch half. Wolf full.
That was really good. Trying to be better than a 9.925 to close the gap that Utah is starting to build here in the third rotation.
That front double full punch front, very difficult combination pass. So when you're on balance beam, you have to mark your spot. So I know till this day where I started my beam dismount. It was a half arm length, open two full arm lengths. She's marking her spots where she will either dismount or perform a skill in her routine.
Alicia's not lying because she actually, on that very beam earlier this morning, marked exactly where her spot was for her dismount. And she's like, I know where it is. And she did.
I hope my dismount spot doesn't throw anybody off.
Miley O'Keefe, the anchor position, following two scores of 9.9 or better from Abby Paulson and Crystal Issa. They are trying to drop a 9.75. This is a big moment in the meet. Jordan Bowers, a 9.9 on floor exercise. So after the 5th athlete, Utah extends the lead just slightly again.
Aerial, back layout, step out. Perfect landing for Miley. Switch leap, leap. Back leg just a tiny bit low on that second jump.
Miley has gotten a 10 on this event, and this is one of those moments in gymnastics where the scores have built. You got a 9.9, a 9.925 leading up to this routine, and it has the feel, if she's perfect, the energy in the arena, the judges might do it, but it's got to be on.
Speed jump. Aerial. Gainer. Back. Oh! Step.
And she looks happy there, but the first reaction when she landed and took that step was one of disappointment. This is a great look.
Just reminding all of you that the beam is only 4 inches, and that look always is a great indicator of that. That back leg was just a little bit low. If judges are being stingy, they will give a small deduction for that.
And don't get me wrong, that was a fantastic routine, but if you know Miley O'Keefe, you know she's a competitor, and she knows she was tasting that perfection until that slight step, but that's still going to be a great number, certainly, for Utah. I would be surprised if it's lower than a 9.9. Now, Reagan Smith, last week put up a 9.9 on this event. She's got a career high of a 9.975. That would be a much-needed score for the Sooners.
Opens up with a very big double tuck.
We mentioned Kara Aker is out for Utah. Oklahoma also missing one of their key players, Olivia Troutman, another gymnast from Twin City Twisters, the same gym as Abby Paulson and Grace McCallum. She is nursing knee tendonitis. They're taking it real slow, but she's a gymnast that can put up better than a 9.9 on every event. Super valuable.
Well, unfortunately, great connection pass. Out of bounds, just had too much juice.
That is a big out of bounds. Remember that moment.
Good side, wolf full.
Miley O'Keefe, a 9.925 for her beam routine. Great finish for the Utes. They are going to extend that lead even more.
Reagan, last only pass, double type. A little bit short on that landing.
Reagan Smith.
Very difficult floor routine. She has a lot of skills in there. Unfortunately, her heel was right on the line. No judge put up a flag. But if they were trying to be hard about that tonight, the 1.5 front leg, front tuck, just had too much juice and did step out of bounds. A full 2 feet technically, because her toes over second foot. So that's going to be, she'll be hit hard for that.
You got to be on that pass. A lot of gymnastics in one pass. 3 rotations done. Utah trying to pull away. Alicia and I will look at the week 1 storylines when we come back and preview Sunday, the Alabama versus Florida meet, and we'll give you that updated score. We got a good one here in Utah.